Hello and welcome to another electronic circuit simulation online audit course. Today's topic is high frequency oscillator. Particularly, we will be studying or simulating Colpitts and Claps oscillator in LT-Spice. So let us directly go to the circuit schematic. I'll open up LT-Spice and I'll open up the Colpitts oscillator. So this is my Colpitts oscillator. Let me show you the theoretical background of it a little bit, then we will proceed. So basically to the left hand side, this PDF shows you the Colpitts oscillator circuit diagram. Again, this oscillator has no external AC input. It only works on the external DC power supply by VCC. It consists of an amplifier network which consists of R1, R2, RC, RE, CE, and active element in the form of NP and BJT. And the LC circuit is formed by C1, C2, and L3. The frequency of oscillations formula is given by 1 upon 2 pi square root of L into C equivalent, where C equivalent is the series combination of the two capacitors. That is, C equivalent is equal to C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2. So the oscillator which we have seen in the on this left hand side of the PDF, the same oscillator we have implemented in LT-Spice. The circuit is already made for y'all for your reference. So this is my amplifier network consisting of resistors R1, R2, RC, RE, and capacitor CE. It also contains an active element Q1. So we have selected from the library 2N2222, and we have a tank circuit which comprises of L3, C1, and C2. So as per the theoretical frequency of oscillations formula, F naught is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root of C equivalent into L3. Here C1 and C2 we have taken it as around 0.01 microfarad. So C equivalent will come around nearby. If you work it out in calculator, you will get a value of 5 nanofarad. We substitute this 5 nanofarad over here, and L3 value we substitute equal to 1 millihenry. So the frequency of oscillations as per the formula theoretically, it's coming out to be 71.176 kilohertz. So as per the Barkhousens criteria, the magnitude criteria is satisfied as follows. The gain of the CE amplifier and the gain of the tank circuit, that is the feedback network, so the product should be greater than or equal to 1, slightly greater than or equal to 1, whereas the phase shift around the loop should be around 0 or 360 degree. So this amplifier over here produces a phase shift of 180 degree since it is a CE amplifier, and this LC tank circuit produces a phase shift of another 180 degree. So the total phase shift around this loop is around 360 degree or 0 degree. The entire circuit, that is the Colpitts oscillator, is powered by 10 volts DC power supply. Now let us go and directly simulate the circuit for y'all. So for simulating the circuit, we go to simulate, we click on run, and it will ask for, we have to do the transient analysis because we have to plot the output waveform with respect to time. So let us say we'll plot here around stop time as 100 milliseconds. So the moment we click on that, we'll get an x-axis. Uh, let it build up from 0 to 100 milliseconds. Now we have to just maximize this window and left click and add trace. So we have to add V out trace. So we click on V out and click on OK. So the moment we do that, we get this buildup of waveforms. As you can see, this is a progressive output waveform, symmetric above 0 and below 0. So here it is a highly compressed waveform because of high frequency. So we have to left click and maximize this waveform like this. Again, it is again compressed, so we have to do the follow the again procedure. Similarly, one more time we will see till we get a visible sine wave. So as you can see, as compared to Hartley oscillator, the sinusoidal waveforms are quite distortion free, quite better compared to Hartley. Now another task is to calculate the frequency of oscillations. So for calculating the frequency of oscillations, we have to keep the cursor over here. I'll keep one cursor at 0 volt and another cursor at another time period, one time period. So as you can see, the difference between both this is one time period from year to year. So as you can see, the difference between the two time periods, one upon that will give you the frequency of oscillations. So the frequency of oscillations by LT spice simulation is coming out to be 70.94 kilohertz. And theoretically by formula, it's coming out to be 71.17 kilohertz. So let me write this value over here. F naught is equal to this number over here. So this is a simulated value. Let me add it over here. So this is the frequency of oscillations by LT spice simulation, and that's how we do the Colpitts oscillator output waveform simulation, as you can see in this screen. So as you can see at the start, we have a, let me just show you. Okay, let me just again build up this thing. Oops, sorry. Let me just run this waveforms again. I wanted to show you all how the waveform starts. So let me just run it and fast forward the video. Not necessary. Yeah. So what I wanted to show you all, yeah, it's happening again. Let it complete, then I will show you the startup waveform. Okay, it's again running. Okay, now it's ready. Now let me just maximize on the initial part. So as you can see, these are the startup waveforms, which will eventually lead to this highly compressed output waveforms in case of a Colpitts oscillator. So our next topic is Claps oscillator. Well, Claps oscillator, we have one slight modification as compared to Colpitts oscillator. So here there is an addition of this C3 capacitor in series with this L3. Let me show you the theoretical background of it so that we can relate it with the simulated circuit in LT5. So this is actually the circuit diagram of a Claps oscillator. As you can see, the addition of this C3 capacitor. Now, why this is done? The addition, the C3 is in series with C1 and C2. So basically, if you take the C equivalent, C3 value is comparatively very small compared to C1 and C2. So the frequency of oscillations is nearby equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root of L3 C3. The advantage here is we can obtain an even higher frequency and we have a more stable output oscillation. So, and variable frequency option is also provided. That means we can vary the frequency if not just by changing C3. So let us observe that. Well, the frequency of oscillations formula remains the same. Only thing is the addition of C3 capacitor in nanofarad. So let me just close this and let me just maximize the screen over here. So what we have done is we have made the same circuit. The working is quite similar as compared to your Colpitts oscillator. Only difference is the addition of C3, which will give it more flexibility. We can go to a higher frequency for higher frequency oscillation. So in this case, let us calculate the C equivalent. So C equivalent will be over here. Okay, so when we substitute the value of C equivalent, it is C1, C2, and C3 in series. So the C equivalent value, if you work it out, you will get it as 0.833 nanofarad. So I have already shown you earlier. And this value of C equivalent we substitute in this formula where L3 is around 0.1 millihenry. So you can work out with the calculator the value of frequency of oscillations will be around 551.44 kilohertz. So now let us simulate the circuitry. Already the dot current parameter is already filled up. Let me just fill it up again so that there is no confusion. So I'll go to simulate, click on run, and here I can write it as 30 milliseconds. So as soon as I write that 30 milliseconds, so I'll get a blank window whose x-axis is starting from 0 and going up till 30 milliseconds. Now we have to right click over here, add trace, and we have to select V out from here. So these are the waveforms which we are getting. Let it build up. So let us wait around 5 seconds. It will complete. So basically we have to add something over here. We have not added a coupling capacitor over here, output coupling capacitor. So let me add that. So the coupling capacitor is added over here of value 0.1 microfarad. Now let us run the waveforms again, circuit simulate, and maximize this, and right click and plot the output waveforms V out so that it starts from 0. Yeah, it is starting from 0 now. Let it build up. So let us wait around 5 seconds. Okay, so what we did is we have reduced the time period to around 20 milliseconds because for 30 milliseconds it was taking too much time. So here it is. So let it complete, then we will analyze the waveform. Yeah. So it is a highly compressed waveform. We have to extract it from here. And again, we have to left click the pointer, the mouse, and again we have to maximize this. We have to do that until until we can view a sine wave. So why it is compressed? Because the frequency is high, the time period is extremely small. So as you can see, this is the best sinusoidal waveforms which we can get. It is better than the Hartley and the Colpitts oscillator. We can compare the results. Now let us bring the cursor over here and place the cursor to maybe around 2 point somewhere around 2.76. So and let me bring the other cursor. What I'm actually doing is I'm actually calculating the time period. So here I'm calculated the time period. So the difference between the time period from year to year will give me one time period, and 1 upon time period will give me the frequency. So this frequency is coming out to be 549.45 kilohertz. So here in LT Spice simulated value, so the value of F naught is coming out to be this. So this is my simulated value which I am getting from simulating the Claps oscillator circuit. So as you can see, the waveforms are quite symmetric than distortion free and mostly pure sinusoidal waveforms in case of a Claps oscillator and of high quality. And we have gone to a very high value around half a megahertz, and the accuracy of result from the theoretical formula and the simulated value is also very much evident. So that's it from Claps oscillator. Next time we'll see some other topic. Thank you.